Hopperscotch has been through a lot. There's a thing in comic books where sometimes when a detail gets referenced, there'll be a little box telling you what issue of the comic or even another comic that detail originated from. If I made one of those boxes for the statement, Hopperscotch has been through a lot, it would reference Quest Friends Flashback Future episode 1 through 82, starting at 12 years old where he had to solve his father's not murder, leading all the way up to living through a repetition of his worst nightmares over and over. This humble vigilante cowboy accountant has faced physical and mental challenges that would, to be frank, kill the average person. And yet, the hardest challenge he ever underwent was taking care of 3 troublesome triplets. Hopper rubbed the sore part of his head where Corey had hit him as he made his way back into the bleachers surrounding Aggie's boost ball game. He sat down next to the empty seat that he had left reserved for Corey, and immediately, Apollo's mother, aunt, guardian, her story always changed, leaned forward from the bleacher behind Hopper and draped her arms around his shoulders. "Oh, Simon, ever the diligent father, come here just to watch your sweet baby girls utterly fail?" Without even turning around, Hopper simply brushed her hands off his shoulders and responded in a deadpan tone,
"Shut up, Lorraine,"
before leaning forward to watch the game. He was nervous, of course. This was a very competitive match, although he was worried less for his sake and more for Aggie's. When she was applying for colleges, and Hopper suggested that she apply to some less prestigious schools as a backup, she chose to not talk to him for a week. Aggie did not take failure well, but what Hopper saw was far more concerning than a loss. The events happened exactly as Ness, Mari, and Aggie planned it. Timeout was called and the teams went back onto the field, but before they could fight, Gubbins sauntered out onto the field, followed by a panicking Mari. Gubbins, Gubbins! Once she got Gubbins off the field, the kickoff began. And with a 6, Aggie was not performing her best, throwing out curses at a speed only her mother could have taught her. Fuck, shit, piss, got jokes, got fish. But before Apollo could land the finishing kick, Coach Ness suddenly yelled out something that caught Hopper's attention.
Objection, dumbass, they cheated.
Hopper had known Ness for 15 years, and in all that time, he only ever accused others of cheating when he was the one cheating himself. His shoulders dropped as the bell whistled and the announcers called the game, unsure of how he would break this news to Aggie and Mari. This was the big game after all, and he could not imagine how bad it would be once Aggie learned it was all based on a ruse. But now, as she ran into the adoring but bee-bruised arms of her teammates, he noticed a look, just a simple flash of her eyes, one that the average, less anxiety-filled person wouldn't notice. But Hopper, he had perception, and he certainly had anxiety. His girls had cheated. And with Corey's behavior, that was a 3-for-3 strikeout. Hopper sighed and stood up, the mockings of Apollo's guardian not even registering in his mind. "Oh, why, that's interesting. The 2 well-behaved, perfect girls winning through cheating. Oh, Simon, you're such a flirt." It was only a month or 2 left until the girls all went off on their separate adventures, and in that time, Hopper was really hoping he wouldn't have to discipline them, but it looked like he was going to have to bring out the big guns. Aggie, Mari, and Corey's father has figured out that they've all misbehaved, and since it's a 3-for-3 strikeout, he's going to have to engage in disciplinary measures he would rather avoid. What are the quote-unquote big guns that Hopper is going to implement?